welcome back to Tarot AF. So today we are going to look at what their first impressions of you were versus how they think about you now. We're going to get some channeled messages, and also I'm going to get some songs to kind of describe your relationship, so it should be a good one. Take a moment to pause the video, have a look at the full piles laid out for you, and I will post the times in the box below. See you then. Hi there, pile one. So let's see what your person's first impressions of you were. So I'm just going to pull some tarot cards, and then I've already pre-shuffled. Oh, sorry, that was like 10. There we go. Okay, so we've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Magician. That one, you're going to come out. We have got the Two of Swords. Sorry, I was mid before Spirit threw them out. I've also got some animal energies and also some soul's journeys as well. And on the back, we've got the Knight of Pentacles and Five of Wands. You really wanted to come out there as well, so I was gonna have five, but you wanted to come along for the ride, so I'm gonna allow you to come. Okay, so first impressions that I get. So when you first met this person, I think you were going through a bit of a balancing act within yourself. I think you were really trying to tap into your inner magician, your inner power, you know, trying to push through, have the courage and the will to go after what you want, and really, like, that was your goal. So I think when you met this person, you were in that state, and with this Two of Pentacles reverse and also this Two of Swords, you know, it's really balancing things out and trying new things. And I feel like you were in this state where you were kind of going between your mind and your heart. So maybe you were in a career or a job, or maybe just, you know, like in the midst of a move or something like that. I just feel like you were at a place where you'd kind of got to the end of the road of where you were, and you were just trying to figure things out for yourself, and weigh up your options and see which one works for you. And I do get this kind of strong feeling like you weren't really looking to meet anyone in this way, if it was a romantic thing, or maybe if it is more of a friendship that you're asking about here, that, you know, I don't think you were really expecting it. I think you were just kind of trying to deal with your own stuff. But like they definitely felt that. They definitely felt this kind of balancing act between, like, within you, but they could see your potential and how you were going to get what you wanted. And I think that's what captivated them, and that's kind of what, like, brought them along for the ride, basically. And they were like, oh my gosh, yeah, they're getting their stuff together. And I think they were a bit inspired by that. And with the King of Swords, I think when they first met you, I think they could tell how intelligent you were right off the bat. And I think with this Five of Wands, I feel like there was this kind of wordplay, kind of back and forth between you. Kind of, I think you have quite a fiery personality, but maybe behind a bit of an exterior. So maybe you take a little while to warm up, kind of, and people try and test the waters with you, or this person especially did try. And I think they were just trying to work you out. I think they could see how dedicated you were to finding yourself, and kind of you looking within and finding what works for you. And I think they were really dedicated to trying to kind of crack you, as it were. I think crack the exterior of this kind of King of Wands. And maybe they thought you were quite quiet and quite I don't think the word's judgy, but I think they probably just maybe a bit standoffish towards them. Maybe they didn't think that you liked them at first because you were just trying to deal with your own stuff. So I imagine, like, if you were like plodding along during your day and this person just like turned up and like tried to have like a witty conversation with you, but you were in the midst of something, you'd be a bit like, yeah, cool, but I'm trying to focus. I feel like it was that, like, you were just so dedicated to your path, and you just weren't expecting that maybe potentially this person liked you and wanted to have this kind of relationship with you. That, you know, I feel like you were just working on yourself, and you weren't open to love in that way. So yeah, so I just get that vibe. But either way, I think they wanted to crack it. They really wanted to get to the bottom of you, as it were. And I think the kind of like the battle of wills and everything, I really see this as kind of like kind of small like banter flirtation on the top, but I feel like you were always the like the king of the words, as it were, and just kind of like came back with these like brilliant one-liners. And yeah, I think they just really admired that you. I don't think it's that they admired that you had everything together, because I feel like you were doing this balancing within you internally. But I think they were just like, that person knows that they want something deeper, and wants to go after what they want, and that's really, really attractive. And they could see that you were going to do it, because your determination was so strong. And I feel like you just weren't taking your eyes off the goal. You just wanted to get to the truth of it. And you were following your head. Yeah, you were following your head and not your heart necessarily. So that's why I think they were like, okay, so I just want to be around this person, so I'm gonna like, I'm gonna just, you know, rock the boat with like our like wills and desires, as it were, like battling against each other. But I'm not gonna open up like the heart, the kind of floodgates with that, because they kind of knew that you wouldn't. I don't think you were more going with your head at that time. So kind of love talk or that kind of thing, I don't think would have potentially muddied the waters. And they were like, I just don't know if they feel like that about me. So let's get you some more cards. So when they first met you, they saw you as the crocodile and also balance. So yeah, so crocodile is really this kind of waiting and looking inside and judging, like kind of testing the waters and judging when it feels right to kind of come out, as it were. And it's really like your inner teacher. So I really do get that vibe that, yeah, you were kind of balancing and bringing harmony within yourself, and you were just kind of like, yeah, kind of waiting, but one eye on the prize always. So I just think you knew where you were going, even if you hadn't formulated your whole plan yet. Because we've got the 2 here, I don't feel like you'd actually like put your step-by-step process on what you were going to do, but they could tell you were really like driven into getting there, and you were just trying to balance yourself out. So I just don't think they wanted to kind of throw anything else at you, but they did want to be close to you. So I think they were like studying your behavior quite closely, and just like, because they knew you were a magician and could do what you wanted, and were powerful. So they were just trying to get you on side. And I think there was probably a lot of conversations, is what I'm getting, like maybe via text, but I feel like it was more face to face for this like 5 of Wands, for this real quick back and forth. So let's see what they think of you now. Let's pop these back in me deck and take these ones to the side. So, Spirit, what are our person's feelings towards them now? Ooh. Okay, so we have got the 9 of Pentacles, we've got the 6 of Cups, we've got the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, I kind of get the impression that maybe you met this person at work, but okay. So yeah, so with this 9 of Pentacles, so sorry, we've got also the Ace of Swords and the Devil. So the reason that I said I think it probably happened at work is I feel like maybe you met at your job, or maybe like, yeah, maybe at school or something along those lines. But I just get the sense that maybe you moved on to a different work or a different career path. Just because this 5 of Pentacles is here, and for me, it feels like you you completely, with that balancing act, completely decided to change course and change direction. So whereas you were kind of, I feel like most of your interactions might have been happening in the workplace potentially, with this line here, I feel like maybe that was cut off. So maybe that communication, maybe that ceased being a work thing. But maybe not. Maybe it's more like, maybe you moved to a different city, different town, or maybe there's just some distance between you guys at the moment. And maybe there's like not really much contact going on there. So actually physically you're not seeing each other. But they see you as someone who has just completely blossomed, and wherever you've gone after that balancing act that you were kind of doing within yourself, even if you don't feel like you were doing a balancing act, they saw that you were kind of like had your eye on something and you were going to go for it. And with this Nine of Pentacles, I just see that they are admiring you and everything that you've built and everything you've done, potentially from afar, but I think they're just a spectator almost at Pile One show. They're like, Pile One, look at all of that they've done. And maybe they're even like, they brag and use their achievement, like use your achievements as conversation pieces when they're talking to like mutual people. But yeah, I just see this kind of full accomplishment, and like the dedication that you've put here in has like truly like shone through. And yeah, I really do feel like they think you're like the star of the show. And this Six of Cups here, I think, I don't know how long, you know, you've had a relationship with this person, but like the roots and the deep roots, and I feel like the Six of Cups is really saying to me like you guys are almost like sort of family, as it were. And you know, yeah, I just see that it's no matter if there is separation and you're not really seeing each other, you've got this like, and they feel it too, this like deep emotional pull. And no matter what happens, no matter what comes between you, you'll always have your memories together. And they almost might romanticize them a bit and like kind of play over conversations. But I do really get this sense that there is a bit of distance at the moment. And I think they are just looking back on the past and when they potentially were closer to you and had that free flowing contact. Or, you know, if you do see this person a lot, maybe they feel like they're kind of replaying a conversation back, if like, you know, they could have had the opportunity to tell you how they felt or something along those lines. But I definitely get the sense that there's this like, they have deep, strong feelings for you as like close family. So even if you're not talking, or if you go a couple of days without talking, they've always got their memories with you like deeply with them. Like they don't forget that easily. But the reason that I think there might be some separation at the moment is because of this Ace of Swords. And I think they are really looking for a new way to talk to you. A way to strike up the conversation, especially if there is this kind of like cut off, or you know, you have changed paths, and contact just isn't, you know, flowing as it used to, that kind of access to one another. And because, you know, we saw that kind of King of Swords character, they know that the way to kind of talk to you is via kind of intellectual conversation, as it were. So they, I think, really just want to kind of start afresh in that way. Because I don't think necessarily anything major has happened to stop this kind of flow of conversation. I just get the impression that it is something to do with career or distance. But, you know, if something has happened and that's why you're not talking, obviously I'm not in the situation, you have your reasons, and, you know, my heart goes out to you if you feel like you had to separate yourself from this person and kind of cut them off whilst you were doing that balancing act within yourselves. But I think they do want to kind of find a way to kind of get back to you and start talking to you again. But like I said, if that is not the case and it's literally just a change of job and it's just or like a distance thing or a change of school, something like that, like and it's just not as free flowing as it used to be, they definitely want to strike that. And with the Devil card, I get this really deep feeling like they are just chained to thoughts of you. Like, I feel like with this Happy Memories card, maybe they think it's almost a bit of a dream, all the conversations that you've had. Not that you've like let them on or anything like that, but maybe just if there is some distance, like the memories of you are chaining them to the past and making them replay everything, like I said. And I just think with this Magician character as well, like maybe they just think, am I imagining it? Am I imagining how great pile 1 was? Because pile 1 was freaking great, like fine as. And I just get this image of them like just chained to the thoughts of you, and not being able to move past that. So let's get some more cards. So yeah, so they now see you as this dragon character, and then they've got doubt. So yeah, so with this dragon character, this is linked to the 3rd chakra, and it's at the solar plexus. So it's really about that stability and security. And I feel like with this 9 of Pentacles, that is what you have got now. And they just see you as this, obviously a reptile with, I'm really joking, with the crocodile and then the dragon. But no, I just feel like they see you as this like powerful being, who's like, again, that eye, like just watching what they want, even if they haven't got it yet. Like, even if you haven't got it yet, they just see that you're lying in wait and like you are ready, you're gathering your power, and you've really like tapped into that inner voice that you've got, and just that inner spark. I think you found it, and you're really like nurturing that flame within you. And with this doubt, again, it really links me back to the Devil. I think maybe they doubt whether they're good enough to be in your life, or, you know, kind of, like I said, like doubt all the past and kind of their feelings towards you, because I feel like if there isn't this contact, maybe they're not getting that reassurance in the form of conversation. So I just feel like their head, like you were trying to do a balancing at the beginning, I feel like they are now doing a balancing within themselves about you, and just being like, was that true? Was it just work or school or that kind of thing? Or was it actually like, was there something deeper there that I wasn't seeing? Because I just don't think they knew what you were thinking. And I still don't feel like they know what you're thinking in this. And if they don't, they just want to kind of get to that truth, get to that clarity. But yeah, they still just see you as this powerful being, and I feel like they've really, like, you've really stepped into your light, and I think they think it's your time to shine. So, and especially maybe to do with your career, or kind of where you're living, or like something like that. I just feel like they don't want to, like we were saying at the beginning, kind of get in your way. And that doubt might just be that they don't know if they belong on your path, belong with you in a relationship, because I kind of get the sense that they don't think they're good enough for you. So let's get you some more. Let's get you your astrology deck. So we've got Uranus, radically change. So this is why you've met them. So radically change. We've got Taurus, trust, patience, and sensuality. And we've got House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. So we've got a lot of Earth. So with the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, which is why I thought it was like, and we obviously had the solar plexus about stability. So I just really feel like this relationship was supposed to ground you. Even if you were doing that balancing act and you've put that work in, I'm not taking that away from you, but I feel like it was supposed to radically change maybe the way you approach things through this relationship. And this trust, patience, maybe if you really like them, maybe you know that they need to figure out their stuff. I feel like you see how good they are because they've got this doubt. I feel like you see that within them, and you're just waiting for them to do what you've done and kind of do the balancing and everything within themselves. And with this friends and like-minded groups, I get that sense that it's what's linking you both is the radical change that is going on inside you. And I think you've done that work, and they see that within you, and I think that's inspired them to maybe search within themselves. And I feel like this relationship is teaching you that patience, that everyone grows on their own time, and you know, you've got to trust your path, you've got to trust where you are and not hold yourself back, and everyone else will catch up, sort of thing. But this friends and like-minded groups, I do see this connection, kind of helping each other through, even if, like, I think they probably taught you how to kind of, with that five of wands, how to kind of not be in your head and heart, and even if you're working on yourself, and you can still have your eye on that prize but still have that fun on the side, sort of thing. And maybe they're also teaching you to kind of celebrate your achievements, because you obviously have done a lot, and you will celebrate them. I can really see that. But yeah, I get the sense that it's a really healing relationship. And with this sensuality in Taurus, I do feel like it might be to do with kind of your kind of greater career ambitions as well, kind of pushing yourselves to what you thought maybe you could do. Yeah, so let's get you some channeled messages from this person. So Spirit, can I have some channeled messages, please, for pile 1? Oh, hello. Okay. So I don't want it to be awkward. I just want to talk to you. Yeah, so we had that Ace of Swords there, that kind of just want to get to you, basically. So I feel like there might be some distance, and I don't want it to be awkward. Maybe you're having these conversations with them, or like maybe communication isn't totally cut off, but it's just, like I was saying, not as free-flowing as usual. So that's kind of, they don't want it to have that awkwardness. I'm worried you don't feel the same about me. So again, I feel like they are in their heads and they are replaying that to themselves. I speak to you when you're not there. So yeah, it's that devil and that illusion and that doubt. Like, yeah, just constant. I can just see them replaying everything in their head. Please stop dragging my heart around. I can't put my guard down yet, and I'm trying to find myself. So yeah, so the please stop dragging my heart around. I feel like they've not even told you that that this is happening within them. Like I didn't really see like they'd seal. I didn't really see that they'd kind of express their emotions to you, but they probably pull you back to the old times, like the good old days. And the I can't put my guard down yet, and I'm trying to find myself. Yeah, I feel like they're going through this balancing that you went through. And yeah, I just don't, I do have other colours, by the way, this red and orange, but they all just fell out. But yeah, I just think this, I can't put my guard down yet. I think they do doubt, this kind of doubt card. I think they do doubt that whether they're right for you. And they know that you would help push them and go after their goals. But I think after seeing you do the work and how you've done that by yourself, I think they know that internally that that's what they've got to do as well. I'm going to get you guys some songs as well. Okay, so pile 1. Some songs for pile 1. And I'll get one more as well. Okay. Friends, yeah, Marshmallow and Anne-Marie. So at the moment, I do see this as just a friendship. Beat again, JLS. So yeah, it might be like lyrics in these songs, or it might be like the actual kind of you know, title or the artist, but like the beat again, I get that kind of stop dragging my heart around. Life is a roller coaster, Ronan Keating. Yeah, so so I feel like if you know, you might have gone through ups and downs with this person, and you're just kind of like riding your life out and kind of seeing where it takes you, and you kind of, I feel like maybe you were getting on the ride when you first met them. That was that kind of balancing, like, oh, do I want to get on the roller coaster, or should I just like stay? And then I think you got on it and you're just like riding away into the sunset, and they're like, oh gosh, why didn't I get on that roller coaster? Maybe not, but that's what I'm thinking. And happy together, the turtle. So yeah, I feel like there is this kind of yeah, I just get this sense that there is this separation at the moment, and everything for them seemed better when you were just, you know, in the same place, being able to talk things through. So at the moment it just might be this friendship, and if it's not, you know, just a friendship, or maybe you have like dated this person in the past or something and maybe separated, I just get the sense that there will always be this friendship, there will always be this Six of Cups with you guys, these deep roots. But yeah, I just think I think everything is better when you guys, for them especially, when you guys are in the same place, in the same room, and able to chat it out. I get the sense that like over text, or, you know, email or Facebook or whatever it is, it's just kind of not the way that you guys communicate, or if you do, it's just not, nothing's you know, as good as real life. But I feel like you guys thrive on that Five of Wands back and forth. But yeah, I do think I think they're just going to try and work out what's going on within them, because they just don't want to hinder you and hinder your process and how far you've come and all of your accomplishments. But yeah, the life is a roller coaster. I feel like it's never say never. It's not that this won't ever happen, or anything like that. I just think they need to find their way onto the roller coaster, because you're already riding it, and obviously, you know, absolutely killing it. So pile one, I am going to leave it there for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear in the comments whether anything resonated, and I really hope to see you guys again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile two. So let's get right down to it. Let's see what your person felt about you when they first met you. So we have the Four of Wands, we've got the Three of Wands, we've got the Two of Wands. I promise I did shuffle this deck a lot, so the fact that they're all together, oh yeah, okay. And we've got the Six of Wands, okay. And we also have the Knight of Swords. So when they first met you, pile two, I think the fact that we've got all this fire, I think they were just like, what a firecracker. What an absolute bundle of energy and pure will and passion. That is literally what I'm getting. It's just this heat rising. And I just think maybe you're a fire sign, or you have fire placements, or you could have air placements as well. But I just felt like you were at this point where you were following your intuition and your gut, and that you were not going to be swayed by anything or anyone. Like, I think you maybe had that spark or of an idea, or that kind of rush of creativity when you first met this person, and you were like, yeah, I've got this idea, I'm going for it. Like, nothing was gonna stop you charging ahead towards your goal. And I think you were surrounded, maybe you were at like a party or something like that, or a celebration of some kind, and I just get this sense of you were around people who are your people, like, and you were just celebrating all the good things in life, all of the achievements, and I think you were just actively waiting for your shot. So maybe you were celebrating someone else with the Six of Wands sorry, that's the Nine of Wands, that's not the Six of Wands. With the Nine of Wands, we kind of get this kind of this strength and kind of waiting, and potentially having your guard up, but maybe that's because you were kind of protecting your kind of new idea, and you were kind of still visualizing what you were going to do with it, and kind of looking out to the horizon and waiting for your shot. That Alexander Hamilton song just keeps coming up into my head, like my shot, like you weren't going to throw it away, you were just waiting to strike. But I just do get this real sense that maybe you are a creative person, maybe you're in those industries, but if not, like, so maybe you're at a creative party or something like that, but if not, I just feel like maybe you're in a group of like-minded individuals. Maybe if you're at, like, you know, out with friends or something like that, you were just on fire, you were just back and forth, you were talking ideas, you were just having a lot of fun, and I can just see this like energy, like this ball of energy that is just captivating. But yeah, maybe you had your guard up, and maybe you weren't really looking for like your emotional heart to be open to anything. And I just see this person who's completely driven and this really great communicator. So when you first met this person, I think they were really taken by your words and the way that you speak passionately about what you want to do. And I think they were probably quite taken aback by that, because I think you were just so strong and willful, and knew who you were, knew your spark, knew what you wanted to say and how you wanted to say it. And I feel like you dominated over the conversation, and they were just kind of there like, wow, this person is just perceptive, they can see everything over the situation, and I think they could just see that you were onto big things. Let's get you some more cards on the table. So they saw you as the Hawk, and also change. So with Hawk, I think they saw you as this. I get the She's So High song in my head, but you don't need to be like, it doesn't matter what gender you are or anything, however you identify. I just think they thought, wow, that person is soaring above the rest of us. And I think you were just kind of like overseeing everything, like even if your ear wasn't in a conversation, like you were still hearing it. I get that sense, like you just had this power, and yeah, you just knew yourself, and could just see every single small detail. And maybe they thought, you know, gosh, this person is just picks up on everything. They are just so focused on their goal and what they want, but they can see the big picture. And this change, I think they could see how kind of you were, how maybe, because we've got a lot of 2s and 3s and then 4, maybe like you'd had that initial spark of an idea and it was kind of all unfolding, and yeah, you were just like this flower, like ready to bloom and ready to show the world what you've got. But I think they did see this kind of like, with the Hawk, kind of this distance, and with the 9 of Wands, like that kind of overseeing. Like you were still connected, you were still there, and you're still picking up everything, but you weren't looking for an emotional connection in that way, because you were just focused on your own kind of power. And kind of that energy was what was driving you, and that's what compelled them to you. I think they were just like, I've just got to watch this person, like pile 2 is just, they're gonna go on and like ride that wave and just like go and get their goals and go and see what they do. So I do get this really strong like fire sign, so maybe Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, maybe that is what you are, or maybe that's how you came across when you first met them. Yeah, I just get this overall, like this overwhelming like sense of personality, and just like, yeah, spark. Like maybe if they lit a match, you would still be burning brighter than the match, sort of thing. Like, yeah, just absolute fire. So let's get some more cards for you. So let's see how they view you now. So Hello. Okay, the Chariot. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So, Spirit, how do they see pile 2 now? What are their feelings? We've also got the Queen of Wands. So you've still got that fire. You want to come out as well. The Star. And then on the back, we also have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so we still got all of this fire going on. So yeah, I think they see you still as this driven, ambitious, like, type who has their dreams at the forefront of their mind, and that will still be what drives you forward. But I feel like they know who you are, and they feel like you are on their side as well. Like, even with the Chariot, where you can be pursuing your goal and that is what you are focusing on, like, and you might be charging 1,000,000 miles per hour ahead. Like, even if obstacles and road bumps come your way, like, you're still going to push through and you are going to be victorious. Because, I mean, I even said the 6 of Wands earlier, and I did get that really deep sense from Spirit that you were going to have victory in your goals and in your endeavours. And with the Chariot again, I just see, like, you have complete trust in your spark and who you are, and you are just going to go for it. And they see that too, that kind of, that momentum moving forward. And I feel like they think the sky's the limit for you. Like, no, you are beyond the sky, as in, yeah, you are limitless. That's what I meant. Like, not that you're going to hit the sky and then you're going to fall, but they're not that way. But, like, I just feel like you will keep going. And then with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like maybe they don't think they're as driven as you, and maybe they don't think they're as studious and dedicated to their goals. But I feel like you, as the Queen of Wands, really try and, like, really nurture them and tell them to go for it. And I think you're just constantly, because you're like, just do it, just do it, just do it, because you're like that for yourself, they're like, oh gosh, I'm just not as, you know, as fiery, and maybe they don't feel like they have that spark within themselves quite yet. But I think they just see you as someone who is persistent, and no matter what obstacles come your way, you just, like, jump over them, and they don't see themselves as that. But you do. I think you're a really good and passionate person, and find that passion in others and try and nurture them out. And I think you're just this energy that people want to be around, kind of like the Sun card. I'm getting that that joy, and I just think you've got, like, a beaming smile and, like, a really warm embrace about you. Like, seeing you from across the room is like a warm hug, like, just so familiar and good. And with this 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands, sorry, I think maybe you hold a lot of it in, and like we were saying with that 9 of Wands, with that kind of guard up potentially, I kind of see this, because you're this Queen of Wands character that is conscientious and, you know, energetic and holds it all and is so powerful. I feel like you keep your kind of everything that's going on, your burdens and your hopes and dreams, to yourself sometimes. Like we were saying with the 9 of Wands, kind of protecting your creative sparks and your ideas. And I see that again with the 10 of Wands, and maybe they see that you're so driven towards what you're doing, but you might not let people in, or maybe they feel like that. They feel like they know you, they know that you like to nurture others. And we've got this Cancer energy here with the Chariot. So I get that sense, you know, that you bring that out and bring that out of other people, but you won't let other people carry your burdens for you, even if they are weighing quite heavily on you. And I think they see that and they want that to change. I think they want to help you, but then they're like, but they're a queen, so they can deal with it. And I just don't think they see themselves, like I said, as driven, and so maybe they don't think they'll have your ear in that respect, but you obviously still respect them enough and like, you know, and want to see them grow and like kind of ignite their flame. And then with this star as well, I think your hopes and dreams just loom so bright, and I almost think you are a star, like you are a guiding light for them, like a kind of example to lead by. But I think your focus is just on your kind of, I see big lights, like that's what I'm saying, like your name to be big, to have this kind of glory and renown, and they see that for you, that I think they already think you are that person, even if you might not think that yourself and you still feel like you're kind of running after your goals. Like they see you as this big star, this big beacon, and this big beacon for change as well, and like healing energy. They just, your fire is still what brings them close and draws them close to you, because I think you nurture that flame within you, and it might be constantly changing and evolving, like we had the change card earlier. So let's get you some more cards. Let's see what else. So we got the Phoenix, rise out of the ashes, and we've also got indecision. So with the Phoenix card, yeah, we've got this, like, again, fire energy, and I think you've just like transformed, maybe you've transformed the idea that you had and kind of nurtured that even further. But I just see this person that is constantly adapting and changing no matter what the circumstances are thrown their way. I think this Queen of Wands character is just, again, knows themselves and knows how to move forward constantly and like reinvent themselves. And with this indecision, I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. This is kind of what I think their energy is, in terms of like, they don't see themselves like you, maybe with that creative spark as bright. And so they're trying to nurture that intuition potentially within themselves, and they want to do that. With this down, like this reversed Knight of Pentacles, I think they are trying to nurture that, and they're using you as the example. But yeah, I think maybe they're just indecisive about how to approach you for help. But then I feel like you are a really open and generous person, but maybe they just think because you're going after your goals and they don't see themselves on the same level, maybe they're like, oh God, can I approach pile 2? So yeah, so let's get you why you met this person as well. So we've got Mercury, think, learn, network, and communicate. So yeah, so I do get that. Maybe you are supposed to learn something from this person, or maybe you learn a lot about yourself from this person, as in maybe they tell you how like driven, and like maybe they say, you know, you're the most driven person I've ever met, or kind of like tell you how much of a star you are. But or maybe they taught you a new way to communicate and see things. And then we've also got Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. So again, we've got that intuition coming up. And I think it is kind of like, we've got water here as well with Pisces. So maybe they're kind of here to teach you a new way of connecting to people. Because we haven't had any cups energy, so not that is a bad thing at all, but like that water, the kind of deep running emotions, and not to say this isn't emotional connection, because I mean, we've got the star, which is, you know, kind of pouring your heart in, and we've got the Chariot, this Cancer energy. But yeah, I do see that you are this Queen of Wands who has compassion for others and do want to see other people grow. So maybe, and finding that intuition within other people, and maybe you're kind of opening yourself up, because like we said at the beginning, I don't think you were necessarily looking for an emotional connection with anyone, but maybe that's opening you up to it. Maybe this is a new bond, as it were. And then we've also got House 1, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. So again, like, you are such an individual, and I feel like with this Phoenix you're constantly reinventing yourself and constantly kind of looking at your image and how you project yourself to the world, and you use your intuition and your spark to drive that forward each time. And I think you are a really strong individual who has those ambitious goals that you are running towards. And yeah, I think that is your approach to life, is to constantly, you know, lead with your fire and your passion. And maybe this person isn't like that. Maybe they lead more with their emotional side, or their or kind of their air side, like their thoughts, and maybe that makes you see the kind of the difference between different people. But yeah, I definitely think they have this, I think they have learned a lot from you. Even if maybe you haven't learned as much from them yet, I do feel like there is some learning to be had with this relationship. Let's get you some channeled messages as well. So Spirit, pile 2, can we have some channeled messages from their person, that woman? So can we get some channel messages from their person? You're going to come out. Yeah. First one on the floor. Okay, so we've got, thank you for always being you. So yeah, so this is this self-image and individuality. I feel like you are just unapologetically you, which is just incredible to be. I think you know yourself, you know that spark within you, and I do feel like you carry that with you always, with this kind of, maybe with a burden. Maybe you don't feel like you find those people that you connect with on that same level, and you are always trying to, like with the 4 of Wands that we had at the beginning, like you really keep your like-minded people close to you, kind of that that kind of sisterhood of souls, as it were, and they really, again, I think fuel your spark even more. But yeah, I think the fact that you just kind of go out there with yourself and you lead with that first is just so captivating, especially to this person, and I don't want to let go. So yeah, maybe because of the Chariot, maybe they're like, because they feel like they have to constantly run to keep up with you, and especially with this Phoenix, because you're always changing, and I think you are just charging ahead to your goal. I don't think they want to be left behind. I think they still want to be within your sphere. And then please stop dragging my heart around. So again, maybe they just, this card's been coming up a lot recently. Maybe they don't feel like they can approach you with their heart at the moment, because they know where you're going, and they don't want to like stop you from getting there, especially if they're being indecisive about their own spark and what they're going to go after. But yeah, but maybe they're just like, you probably don't even know that you're potentially dragging this person's heart around, because there's not really loads of like cups, like the gushy side. I feel like you guys are connected on your wills, and that is the thing. So yeah, so maybe this is kind of like a weird, I didn't even think of that. But yeah, they're literally like pile 2. I think they're kind of just going round and round, and because you just are such an individual, I think there is no one else like you, and they're just so taken aback and just, yeah, like I said, want to be in your sphere. And then I'm trying to find myself. So yeah, that indecision, I think they're just trying to see who they are and try and like be on your level. And then we've also got you make me so happy, and yeah, that's under that intimacy card as well, that Pisces. So I think, and also that kind of, yeah, like-minded group of people. I think you are just such a light to be around, and they just don't want that to stop. So let's get you guys some songs to connect you as well. So we've got Heartbeat, Scouting for Girls. So yeah, I feel like their heart is like going a million miles per hour when they see you, because maybe they feel like they're on the bit on like the hot seat, because I feel like maybe you like question them, like, what's been going on, what have you been doing, and because you just want to get the most out of people and kind of like, yeah, get to the crux of it. So maybe their heartbeat's really fast. We've got Crave You by Flight Facilities featuring Gazelle. So yeah, maybe there is this kind of like, you're this bright, dazzling light and they just crave to be around it, and maybe they kind of see you as that intoxicating personality they just can't get enough of. Don't Bring Me Down, Electric Light Orchestra. So maybe that's what they think that they are to you. Maybe they feel like they're gonna bring you down potentially. And then Day and Night, Billy Piper. So again, I feel like they just think about you and your light day and night. That rhymes as well. So yeah, but it might be like lyrics in these particular songs, or like the name of the artists, or actually the kind of titles. But those are your songs as well for this relationship. But yeah, I just feel like they see your spark, they see who you are clearly, because you just present that to the world and to everyone, and especially your nearest and dearest. And yeah, I just think they just crave that. They just crave to be around you. And yeah, you are that intoxicating personality, and they just want to keep coming back for more. So yeah, pile 2, I am going to leave that there for you guys today. If anything resonated, please let me know in the box below. I'd love to hear. And until next time, I hope to see you there. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. So let's get right down to it. So what was Spirits, pile 3's person's first feelings towards them? So how did they first feel about our pile 3? So we've got a reverse 3 of Wands, we have got the 7 of Swords, we've got Justice, we've got the Emperor, and on the back of the deck we have got the Moon 2. So with these cards, with the reverse 3 of Wands, I feel like you were kind of this illusion to them, and it was really clear that you were waiting for something, and maybe you were even kind of looking back on your past efforts and kind of where you'd been up to this point. And I think maybe you, with this Justice card in the middle, I feel like you were maybe really, a choice had led you here, and based on your past actions, and you were kind of like stopped in your tracks, as it were. And I feel like you were really trying to, with this 7 of Swords, kind of find a way forwards and kind of plan your next steps quite carefully. Maybe you had a plan, or maybe you had made a decision and it wasn't the right one. And so I just get this sense of looking back, like especially with the 3 of Wands looking that way and the 7 of Swords, and then it kind of changes and the Emperor and the Moon look towards the future. I kind of feel like you were just on this level where you knew you had to change. You knew you had to change something up, and that's when this person walked into your life. And I think maybe this was the point where you stopped. You're like, okay, I can't keep doing the same thing. I can't keep waiting for the same thing to happen, or like waiting for a different outcome and actually not changing anything. So I feel like you were trying to plan a way forward, and it wasn't really working for you, no matter which way you cut it. So I think you decided a new strategy when you met this person. You were in the midst, in your own personal time, doing it. And I think they could just see all of this and see that your attention was on yourself at that point. And maybe they felt like they wanted to help you make this choice, but because maybe it was because they first met you, maybe they were like an advisor to you, like someone to kind of help you along into this realization. But I feel like a lot of it happened by yourself. And with this Emperor card here, it's linked to Aries, so it's new beginnings, new phases, and it's really about that foundation, that stability. And I think that's what you were after. In order to move forward and kind of create your own new path, you needed to kind of stop and slow down and like I said, you were at this crossroads is what I'm really feeling, not crossword. You weren't doing it, maybe you were doing it in the Times or something like that, and then, you know, they walked up to you and they were like, oh no, 2 down is go. I'm only joking, but but yeah, I just feel like, you know, you knew you needed to kind of stop and find a new way to move forward and kind of replan. And with the moon here, I get this sense that you were dreaming of something different, dreaming of a new reality, looking towards something else. And maybe with the 7 of Swords, maybe there was someone that betrayed you, or kind of betrayed your like thoughts and your trust, and that had left you needing to heal. I get this sense maybe an injustice had happened to you. So maybe in another relationship, maybe it ended badly, and you know, they took some of that thought energy from you. And the moon is all about, you know, in the moon, it's our deep subconscious and our fears and our anxieties. And in the moon, we can't tell between a kind of wolf and a dog, a friend or a foe. And I just get this sense that maybe on the path to meeting this person, there was this betrayal that had happened to you, and I feel like you were trying to heal the wounds and kind of get your life back on track. So and with the 3 of Wands reversed, I don't think you were looking for anything to happen. I feel like you knew you needed to change your outlook potentially, and how you were seeing things, and maybe your relationships, kind of, especially if you were hurt in love and you were just trying to heal yourself. I think you were trying to like be like, okay, not everyone is like that, not everyone is going to treat me in this unjust way. And I think you were just trying to be fair to yourself and give yourself that time to build yourself back up and kind of restructure and reorder where you were with this deep kind of need to refocus on your dreams and not depend on others. That's what I'm really getting, like that you didn't I really get the sense that you weren't looking for this person to step into your life, and I think they could kind of tell that as well within you, and their first impressions of you is that, you know, I think they could see the hurt and see that something had gone awry, whether it was something you were planning, you know, an occurrence, a choice that you kept on making in the wrong direction, or whether it was a past relationship where, you know, it left you with scars that you needed to heal. I think they could see that, and they could see maybe that you had this kind of this guard up because you were just trying to do the internal work. And you weren't ready to let anyone close, anyone back in, and yeah, I just get this sense that you were really wronged. Whether this choice was, you know, just based on decisions that you had made, and you know, and that was all it was, or whether there was another person that had been involved up until that point. But I feel like you were quite closed off potentially when you met this person, and yeah, maybe just trying to keep it together, and just push forward. So let's get you some more cards. Let's see what else they thought about you. So we have the Beaver, and we also have Acceptance. So the Beaver, this earth energy, so this need to like be stable and grow again, and it's this hard work and persistence, and Beavers really value their family too. So I feel like maybe if, you know, we treat people we love as family, even if they're our chosen family, and I do get the sense that maybe those ties with someone might have been broken, and maybe you were just trying to reattach yourselves to like-minded people, to kind of have that healing. But I think you were just like really dedicated to finding a way forward, to this kind of crossroads you found yourself at. You were like, no, I'm going to really work for this, and this acceptance. I think you accepted what had happened in your past, and you were like, okay, I'm accepting that, I'm healing from it, and I'm just going to learn that I can't change things. I can't change what has been done to me, and I want to move on. And this person could see that within you, and I feel like that's what that kind of drive that you had to kind of better yourself and you know, and create some structure because especially these, the Seven of Swords and the Three of Wands, and then we've got major cards. I feel like it was for you, you were going through a major shift, a change of perspective. And maybe they helped you through that, like I said, like an advisor, but I feel like you were just doing a lot of that work internally for yourself. So let's see what they think of you now. So we'll gather those up into our pile. So, Spirit, what does the person think of pile 3 now? So we've got the Five of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles. Ooh, you still want to come out. We've got the Ten of Swords, we have got the Knight of Swords, and we have also got the Four of Swords. Okay, so I really do sense that there might have been a conflict here between you both. And I mean, the Five of Wands, I feel like there was a heated debate essentially, and you guys really just clashed heads, and maybe there were other people involved in this as well, but I just think the person is in a deep state of regret about it, and I do sense this real rift and this real distance between you both. And with the Page of Pentacles, they're really studying their actions, really, I think, really looking back at everything that had happened, and it's just kind of trying to muddle through and be like, how did we get to this point? It's so different from when you guys first met, so I feel like there's been a lot of time here between them, but you know, maybe it was really clear that you guys were on different paths, and your thoughts were just not aligning, whether this was a friendship or a relationship. And with the Page of Pentacles, yeah, I just get this looking back, and you know, they're biting their hand as well. It's just like this, yeah, real loss. I just see real loss here. And with the Ten of Swords as well, like just completely kind of taken in with their own thoughts, and their mind is like running at like hundreds of miles per hour, like trying to think of what they've done wrong and why they did it. And I see casualties on both sides, really. And I do think it was the battle of the thoughts and desires. And because we've had that Moon and that Friend or Foe card, I really get that maybe you both weren't sure whether this was going to work. And yeah, the Ten of Swords is just absolute ruin in their case, is what they're feeling. I just feel this sense of dread and like, yeah, heartbreak and sadness. And I feel like a lot of tears have been shed over this relationship, especially because I feel like with the Four of Swords, you know, there is this withdrawal and like really shutting themselves off with their thoughts. And like I said, that replay of the situation and how you've got to this point. And with the Knight of Swords as well, this is, you know, with your thoughts kind of cutting through to the truth. So maybe with the Moon, you uncovered something about them, and yeah, it's also of like Knight of Swords, because they're rushing towards their destination, it's also destruction and kind of wrath and war. And maybe they did something to hurt you, and they know that, and they were that Knight of Swords character that, you know, cut through and actually left you as the Ten of Swords, like having to heal, and especially after you went through that acceptance of yourself, and maybe if you opened yourself up to this person, and like even with your better like your judgment from your past, like you opened yourself up because you know you're like, not every other person is like the person that I dealt with, and then maybe they did something or said something that sent up a red flag in you, and you were like, no, this isn't right, and it kind of just escalated from there. I get that sense that there is this separation, and I feel like they hurt you just as much as maybe you hurt them, if you did hurt them. But you know, I don't know the situation. This is a general reading, so it could be different for each person. You know, watching this, I'm picking up on the energies, but if you know, I do get this sense that they were the ones that hurt you, but you could have easily as well left, especially if there was this Five of Wands, this kind of moment where, you know, you were both saying cutting things to each other, and potentially, like, I feel like both of you are in this state where you don't know whether this is salvageable, is my thinking. And with this Four of Swords, I feel like that is a retreat to kind of cool off about it, and kind of after this mental turmoil, just try and work through your thoughts. And if you're still in a group with this person or something like that, I feel like you're still keeping an ear out for what's being said and what's being talked about, but I don't think you're ready to come out yet. You're not ready to talk to them, which is like I said, you know, if this person hurt you, and I get this kind of, it could almost be player energy here, and especially if you opened your heart up to this person after your past kind of trauma, as it were, then of course take all the time you need. But yeah, I just do get this kind of not knowing how to take the next step forward here. And we've got some more energies. So we've got hyena, and we've also got honesty. So with the hyena, I feel like with this Five of Wands, the hyena is this fire energy that is witty and full of humour, but also really scrappy. And I mean, I always get called scrappy because and I just think, and maybe this was how your relationship was with that person, that kind of energy, but also the hyena also has this like deeper side, and which they might not show, and they might switch off. So maybe they see you as this hyena because they know of the past hurt and all that past healing that you had to go through to get you to this point, and the hyena was your protective skin because they did something and said something that, you know, sent up that red flag within you, and you had to be honest with yourself and be like, no, that's not okay. So I feel like there was this pushback, but maybe it wasn't this really heated, explosive discussion. Maybe it was just an eventuality where it was kind of all on the surface, because the hyena is also linked to like wit and humour. So maybe stuff was said, but it was all on the surface, and actually that didn't sit well with you, but you didn't let it show at the time, but deeply it was hurting. So you were just kind of like brushing it off, and because the Five of Wands can also be a bit more of a sham and an imitation as well. So maybe there was that sense of like, oh, it's not phasing me, and then you were like, no, actually really deeply that has hurt me, and now I'm taking a step back and I'm stepping away from it. But it could also, I do get that sense with a hyena that was you in that situation, but it also could be them. Maybe there were kind of shots fired on both sides. But with this honesty, like, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Yeah, this withdrawal that's been happening, and this kind of studying over what's happened, maybe with the Page of Pentacles, it's trying to find that truth, trying to find the truth of that matter, why you guys got to this point as you did. And yeah, I just see this full guard, like with the Knight of Swords all in their armour, like just full guard up, like not ready to come forward and open up yet. Let's get you some astrology deck cards to see why you met this person. So we've got Pluto, so transform. So yeah, I feel like with this healing energy that you had at the beginning, and that they saw within you, I do and like, you know, with the moon changing their phases and changing their body, their mind, everything, their soul, I think you were going through that transformation, and maybe they forced you to do another deep transformation through this, to then be like, again, I need to be honest with myself. I cannot allow this pattern to continue happening. With that Justice card, maybe you feel that deep injustice. Or maybe this is supposed to, like, from this point on, when you guys are ready to reconnect, to transform this energy and re-transform your relationship. But we've also got Scorpio, intensity, exposing, purging and renewing. So yeah, maybe you met this person because there's this intensity in this battle of wills, like I said, and battle of thoughts, and exposing the truth as well, like Knight of Swords, finding that clarity, but maybe also finding that clarity for you in your boundaries of what is right, like how you want to be treated and how is not okay to be treated. And again, we've got this skull and this butterfly imagery on both cards. And I just do feel like it's a death to one phase, death to one way of thinking, and transforming that and moving forward. And like with the butterfly, finding a new release and a new energy. And yeah, and maybe flying away, maybe taking a step away from it. And then House 9, spiritual growth. So again, we've got birds flying away from this situation, and it's kind of this candle internally. And yeah, maybe you did meet this person, because you meet every single person in your life for a reason. Like, you learn something from every single person. Maybe it's how not to do something in this case, and it's like how you do not want to be treated. And maybe this was like almost a slipping back into bad habits. Maybe you could kind of see who this person was potentially, and quite similar to people that maybe had treated you that way in the past, and actually this was almost the final straw, is what I'm getting. But if not, and if it's just a bit of distance and it's just a bit of a cool off period between you, I feel like it could be a transformation of your relationship moving forward. So I feel like it's either letting go and moving on, or it's this like letting go and like then rebuilding together. I could see it both ways, and like I said, I think it's going to be different for different people. But yeah, I do see this kind of purge of the old, and then finding your spark, and knowing intuitively what is okay for you to deal with, and then moving forward with that. So let's get you some channeled messages as well from your person. So Spirit, so we have, I'm just going to keep shuffling actually. So Spirit, can I have some more channeled messages? Yep. For pile 3, please. So you're going to come out as well, and you as well. So it's nothing to do with you. Yeah. So maybe they were going through something in their life, and actually when they lashed out, and maybe when this heated debate or conversation happened, or maybe their behavior, if you know, if it was similar to something that had happened to you before, they're like, it's actually not you, it's my fault, and I should not have done that. I just get, like I said, I get that regret. And yeah, it's like, I feel like it's trying to reassure you, like, whatever happened, whatever this situation was, it was their stuff that they were working through, and they put that on you because they could see where you were going. They saw that you were trying to heal yourself and create something new to move forward. And I feel like they think they've dragged you back potentially. I always try to bump into you. So yeah, so even I do get this sense that there is this distance, like we were saying, like you're both like retreating into yourselves. But yeah, with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like they're trying to, they're not going to reach out. I don't feel like that's what they're going to try and do yet, but they do want to try and instigate they do want to instigate trying to like see you. And then I can't stop thinking about your smile. Okay, so especially with the hyena, like that humour and wit, and I think that was what, you know, your relationship had. Like, it was that humour, and maybe that was your way. And I think, especially if you know, like we said, that sadness and those tears, especially if there is that sadness there at the moment, and you know, you're potentially not smiling, or they can't see your smile because you're sharing it with other people because you're not seeing them. Like, yeah, I think they're just hanging on to that. You're not easy to forget. So again, like I said, I don't think you're talking, and if you are, maybe it's just not the same way that you did, and maybe it is that kind of that distance, like, yeah, that distance of conversation. But I just get the sense that you guys haven't seen each other in a while, and you are so special. So again, it's nothing to do with you. Like, they were the ones that messed up here. That, like, maybe there were shots fired, like I said, on each side, but I feel like they know that it was them, and they're trying to be honest with themselves and kind of realize how badly they treated you, and maybe, you know, you had that acceptance and they saw that within you when they first met you, and maybe they're like, okay, I've got to accept my faults now and accept what I've done and be honest with themselves. But yeah, I with this hyena energy, like, I do feel like they're, maybe if you are seeing them, you're giving them one side, you're giving that like humor and wit and that back and forth, but you're not letting them into that deep intuitive moon side of you, like that emotional side, which, you know, like I said, I don't know the situation. You have very good reasons, especially if it reminds you of stuff that's happened in your past. Like, you have your boundaries, and you know what is okay and not okay within you. And when you're ready, if you ever are ready to talk to this person, like, they clearly do want to kind of to talk to you, because they do think you are a very special person, but you do it on your terms, no one else's. Let's get you some songs as well to describe this relationship. So again, it could be lyrics, it could be the artist, or just the song titles. So we've got Call Me Lover, Sam Fender. So yeah, so that's kind of like, I love it when you call me lover. So maybe you're not calling them that anymore, or it could just be call me, like, you really got a hold on me, the Beatles. So yeah, can't stop thinking about your smile, want to bump into you. 13, big star. Yeah, so maybe it's like been 13 months since you've seen each other, or again, big star, like, it's that star. You might be going after your like hopes and dreams and your wishes, or yeah, maybe 13 has a relevance to this relationship for you. And Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake. So yeah, maybe you're like, maybe that's how they think you feel, like, you know, you've done me wrong, so yeah, cry me a river, basically. But yeah, I get this sense that there is this distance here, and like I was saying, you know, however, like, if you ever want to open up this relationship again, it's absolutely on your terms, and you do that when you're ready. And if you don't, like, I think they're going to respect that, because I think they know that they've done wrong to you. So yeah, pile 3, I'm going to leave that here for you guys today. If anything resonated, I'd really love to hear in the comment section. I'm wishing you all good things, sending my love, and I really hope to see you again soon. Bye. Hi there, powerful. So let's get straight down to it. So let's see what your person felt and thought about you when they first met you. So Spirit, what did their person feel or think about pile 4 when they first met them? Oh, we've got 2 there. So the World, the 5 of Cups. Okay, I'm going to take you, but these ones I'm going to leave back in the deck because they were about 10. And we've also got the Sun and Daughter of Wands. Okay, so I think this person thought the world of you. I feel like they just thought you were like, you were complete. You maybe completed them, maybe an aspect of themselves that they were looking to complete. But with this World card, I just see this victory, and especially the Sun as well. I just get that you were this bright, dynamic light, and they were completely taken aback. They were like, from across the room, they were like, pile 4, who are they? Like, who is that? Like, just this radiance like came from you, I think. And I think you just, even if you don't feel this way, I feel like they were like, they just have everything together. They are just, especially with this butterfly here, they've got this freedom, this ability to be who they want to be. Like, that is it. I feel like it's just like this overwhelming, like, shoom, there is pile 4. And yeah, and with the 5 of Cups, I feel like it could be one or two things. I think they had a feeling within themselves that they weren't worthy enough for you, that they were like, I'm never going to get them. I'm never going to be good enough, and that was like a loss for them. And they could have been going through some hurt and some grief of their own and their own kind of healing, or it could be that behind like your outward exterior of like having yourself together and being switched on and being this joyous light and this beacon that everyone goes to, maybe deep down there was some kind of loss for you, potentially, maybe something like emotionally scarring that you were working through but not necessarily sharing. But maybe they got a glimpse of that, maybe they saw, maybe that resonated with something within themselves. But either way, I feel like there was this or maybe they were just came out of a relationship, or maybe you did, and this freedom has like, you're like fully embracing your independence. And yeah, I just feel like, there was a loss for maybe a past relationship or something like that. On either side it could be, but maybe it was more you. Maybe it was like, okay, I'm completely whole, I'm completely myself, like I'm emerging back out into the world and I am this light energy. And I just get this sense that people were flocking to you. Like, I think everyone was like, pile 4, like, pile 4. Let's walk up to pile 4. But yeah, and with this 2 of Pentacles, again, I get this sense that it's kind of like this balance maybe between who you were and that kind of, that past loss that you might have felt, and maybe that healing that was going on inside of you, and maybe you were still grieving that loss of a relationship. But then this other side where you're like, no, I can see the light, I can see this, my independence and my warmth and my bubbly personality that is going to see me through this. And like, I just get that sense that there was you know, that duality within you. And I think they saw that too, even if you didn't let on. I feel like it was almost kindred spirits in that kind of sense. Like, maybe they had past, like maybe they had just come out of a relationship as well, and they were like on this kind of same wavelength. But I just think they thought you were the Sun, and I don't think they maybe saw themselves as that. They were like, oh wow, they have just fully accepted and like moved on, and they're bright. Especially, maybe I get the vibe that this could be friendship before, and maybe you guys were both in relationships, and maybe you had newly come out of one, and yeah, and I do get that thread as well, that maybe, you know, it had been a while, or maybe not, and they just saw you in a new light, in this kind of new emergence. And yeah, I just get this freedom, this sense of self and freedom from you. And with this Daughter of Wands, I see this kind of, maybe this kind of enlightenment, this kind of new this new way of thinking, maybe within both of you. But yeah, this faithfulness, and maybe this news that's brought you to this point, this kind of like realization that you are the Sun, and that's what you were going for. And yeah, and just kind of like coiling around your intuition and your light. Like, I feel like that's what you were doing, and kind of not stepping into the past potentially of that kind of loss that you might have felt. But yeah, I think they could see that you had that spark, that kind of fire within you, and they were like, yeah, pile 4. Even if you just come out of a relationship, they were like, either way, I just want to be close to this person. So let's get you some more cards. So they saw you as starfish and also abundance. So again, starfish, like they just thought you were a star. They like, the sun is a big star. Like, I just think it's this, you're just a unique light and personality that they were just drawn to. Like, and again, this like creativity and yeah, this passion behind you. And I think you were literally the star of the show in that room when you first met them, or when you reconnected after a while, or they saw you in this new light. They were like, well, this is really the first impressions of you, but it could be the first impressions of seeing you in a new way is kind of also the vibe that I'm getting, kind of this emergence from something else. But if it's not, if this sounds more like when you actually first met this person, I just think, yeah, they were like pile 4, wow. And maybe they didn't, because starfish is also linked to that, is water energy as well. Maybe they didn't see, maybe they felt it and you didn't let on, but maybe they saw that deeper side to you, that kind of emotional turbulence that maybe you had going on inside, but maybe that didn't get discussed or spoken about, and maybe it was just like your light and your radiance that like captivated them, but that was all going on underneath. But this abundance as well, this abundance card, I'm a limitless being. Yeah, you really are. Like, I think they could tell that you just had this, I really get this mature vibe about you as well. Like, you could just, yeah, get what you wanted, and I think they saw that too. But I think you were just an abundance of energy, and with this dance at the end as well, it like abundance, I just get this, maybe you like, yeah, like I said, stole the show, but if you met on like a night out or something like that, like I just think you were center of attention, or center of their attention, even if you were like, I'm just having a good time. I think they would just had their eyes on you throughout the whole thing. But yeah, okay, let's see what they think of you now. Ooh, abundance wants to come with me there. Oh, wrong way. Typical. Okay, yeah, that was the wrong way. Gosh, come on, Anna, get it together. Okay, so Spirit, what do they think of pile 4 now? What do they think and feel about pile 4 now? And also, if like anything, oh, there we go, some cards. Okay, so we've got the reversed 10 of Pentacles, we've got the Mother of Swords, and we've also got the 2 of Swords. So what I was going to say is, if anything doesn't sound like, oh, I'm not sure that is actually what I was feeling at that time, even though I might have said, oh, you might have been going through this. This is also just, this is from their perspective as well. So, because we're obviously asking what their impressions were. So even if you didn't necessarily feel those things about yourself, like that it's just kind of what was sort of going on for them and what they picked up on. So currently we've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, we've got the Mother of Swords, we've got the 2 of Swords, we've got the Fool reverse, and we've also got Temperance. So with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, I kind of see that maybe things are a bit rocky for you guys, and you're trying to like balance out how you're feeling about each other at this current moment. Maybe you've entered into a new relationship that or maybe they get the impression that you might have, or you might be talking to someone else. But if not, yeah, I just get this sense that they feel distant from you, kind of like at an arm's length. And yeah, I just get this complete, like, that maybe you're complete without them, especially because that's where the world was as well before. And 10 is that kind of, that completion of the phases. And I just, yeah, maybe you're maybe you're on a different path to them, and they just don't know, what you're doing. I especially with the Fool reverse as well, because the Fool upright is about new beginnings and kind of stepping forward and leaping forward, but I just see this obstacle, I just see this like shut down. And especially with the Two of Swords, this kind of mind-heart situation that's going on. So maybe one of you opened up to the other and said, hey, like, I like you. Or maybe that didn't happen, and maybe it's just like in their head. And yeah, I just feel like you're on different paths, and they just don't know where you are with this situation. And with the Mother of Swords, I just get this defense and this kind of like this need to distance and analyze the situation from afar. So that's why this kind of head and heart, I feel like you feel a bit blinded maybe towards this situation, and they do too. I feel like they don't know what's going on. I feel like there is separation here. And yeah, I see that maybe your dreams are not aligning, like the dreams for this relationship are not in the same realm. And yeah, there's this need to sort out the thoughts. And maybe if there was a relationship here and there was like a maybe it was feeling complete and was feeling whole, I don't think it's there anymore. I don't feel like that satisfaction is there. And yeah, and with Temperance over here too, you know, really the reconciling of opposites. Yeah, I feel like, you know, reconciling the mind and the heart, and trying to rebalance your relationship, but maybe thoughts are taking the forefront at the moment. Maybe you guys aren't leading with your hearts. And yeah, the Fool reversed, I just feel like there's no step forward. I feel like you're in a bit of a checkmate position, where every move that you seem to make, or they seem to make, is just not working. It's just not moving anything forward. There's no progression here, and there's just this deep need to reconcile the situation, to get that, especially if you're not talking and kind of trying to find a new way to communicate to one another. Yeah, I do get the sense that there's this separation and there's this distance between you, especially with the Two of Swords like crossed over. I feel like it's like, no, like cut off, like not talking at the moment. But if you guys are talking, I just get the sense that there's something maybe that has gone on that has created a bit of a rift, and it feels like you're not moving forward. And their impression of you is that they don't know what you're thinking. Maybe they feel like you might have moved on without them, and have kind of like, with this fire and this water, and because you were linked to the starfish and that water energy, maybe you're kind of like dousing out the flame, like the flame between you both, but maybe not. Maybe it's just like maybe that's just what they are thinking. And with this rainbow, and then this rainbow behind also the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, yeah, maybe it's a deep need to kind of reconcile and kind of reverse this situation, reverse this relationship, especially if something has gone wrong, and wanting to get back to that point. So let's get some more cards for you. So we also have the Swan and Discipline. So they see you, and also this duckling as well with the Swan is quite interesting. But with this Swan, like, I still see them as someone that holds you in high regard, and just really graceful and elegant. And I feel like you've handled this situation with a lot of grace, which is probably, especially if they've done something wrong, is definitely something that they're reflecting on, and they're like, I just don't know how they've held themselves together throughout this. And like, I just feel like there might be this yeah, like I said, this kind of this block between you and this guard that maybe you've put up whilst you're trying to deal with it and trying to see what you're feeling inside. And with this Discipline, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I feel like your mind is just trying to suss out the situation at the moment, and maybe they are too. They're trying to like just think with their thoughts. Obviously that's what you do with your thoughts, but like, they're just trying to set their mind to what they want out of this situation, like set intentions for how to move forward. But yeah, I just see this like this full creativity within you, which they absolutely revere. And yeah, I think you're just really composed throughout this, especially if it's something that they've done and has really hurt you. That's why I get this sense that there's no movement forward, as in they can't guess your move. It is like almost that chess game. Like, they just don't know. You're not letting anything go. You're not letting anything slip away in terms of your actions to give them any clue, any indication of what's happening for you and how you're feeling. Which I think is really frustrating for them. So let's get some channeled... let's look at why you met this person. So we've got Jupiter, Grow and Expand. We've got Cancer, Nurture, Comfort and Protection. And then we've got House 8, Transformation, Karma, Facing Fears and Legacies. So with this Jupiter, Grow and Expand, I feel like, especially if you have grown with this person and kind of expanded your relationships to pass what more than what you've had before or whatever, and you've kind of grown into a different person or anything and nurtured a different side of you. Again, we've got Cancer, which is this water energy, and obviously you've got the Swan and also the Starfish. So, you know, I feel like that was supposed to, like, this relationship was supposed to bring that side out of you, especially if maybe with that Five of Cups, maybe there was that relationship that left you in that sense of healing, or maybe for them. But either way, I feel like it was supposed to kind of help that grow back within you and them as well. And with this Protection card as well, maybe protecting your thoughts, protecting what you hold close, especially if there's been boundaries that have been pushed. If you were drawn to pile 3, then maybe give that one a watch as well, because that was that kind of energy too. But with this Protection, yeah, I really get this sense of protecting who you are, and with Discipline too. And House 8, Transformation and Facing Fears. So maybe after, if you did feel this loss in a past relationship, by actually entering into another with this person potentially, like, that is a form of transformation, like transforming your ideas of how people might treat you, but also facing the fears, maybe facing the fears of going into another relationship. But if not, I just think this is supposed to grow and expand you and transform where you are. And this block that's currently there, I don't feel like this relationship is done and finished. There is more to the story here. There is more that is going to happen, because I feel like that kind of trust to take that first step, that leap forward, has not happened yet. or if it has and it's been stopped, I feel like there is the need to keep going within here. But let's get some channeled messages from your person as well. So Spirit, can I have some channeled messages? Oh, hello. From, oh, pile 4 from their person. Okay, and we've got about 5,000 on the floor, which I will leave there. So you're still my person even if I'm not yours. So yeah, I get the sense that they just don't know what you're thinking. And with this upside down 10 of Pentacles, I do think you might have had a relationship with this person, or if not, maybe you were on the kind of road and you had that kind of really great friendship, or you know, or just that relationship in general potentially. Or maybe if it was a bit of a situationship, like a friends with benefits or something, maybe you were really, really close to kind of like being exclusive, or you know, kind of setting that foundation and kind of growing from there. And especially if they did or said something that, you know, kind of put that guard up for you and you were like, no, I can't proceed to this next level. Or if they did that, like, and there is this bit of distance like that, you know, you're still my person. They obviously do see you as someone that they want to face their fears with. Thank you for always being there for me. So again, I think you are this nurturing and protecting kind of person. And maybe with this Temperance, maybe you're still there, you're still extending a hand, even though if it is a bit at a distance, even if there is something that you guys are working through. You feel like a stranger now. Yeah, I get that sense. Thank you for always fighting in my corner. So yeah, and being there for you. I do think even if you are going through something where you're not talking, like, they know that you are always kind of there waiting if they need that help. And you would defend them. Like, swans are fierce when they're being attacked. So I feel like they're still, you know, you're still my person even if I'm not yours. Even if they don't think you're, like, if you don't feel like that, I think they still feel, you know, you would still fight for them. And you're the one that I want. Yeah. I have the feeling you don't feel the same, and I wish you could see what I see. Yeah, so this you're the one that I want is, like I said, very similar to, you know, you're still my person. And I still think they do want to reconcile things here, but I just don't think, like I said, they don't know what you're thinking, they don't know how you feel, and they don't want to push you, especially if they've crossed a boundary. And I have the feeling you don't feel the same. So I think deep down, they obviously know that they've hurt you. Or if you actually don't want a relationship with this person, then maybe they've got that inkling, maybe they've got that feeling like you don't want to set down roots with them, which again, you're absolutely within your power to do. And if you're just trying to go through it in your mind, like whether you actually do want to step into something with them, you know, you've got your discipline. Like, take your time over that decision. And I wish you could see what I see. So again, this like starfish and this sun. So maybe if you don't see that within yourself, and you don't see that the joy that you bring to other people, like, it is there, and this person does feel that way, and does feel that connection with you. And yeah, I feel like they just want to shake you and be like, you are brilliant. And I think you just transform as well, like we were saying with this house of 8. Like, I think you transform the way that they think, and they expand their mind as well as their hearts with that kind of Cancer nurturing energy. So let's get you guys some songs to describe this relationship. So those two. And okay, we've got 3 there. So we've got Crazy in Love, Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. So yeah, this You're the One That I Want. I feel like they are going through their minds. And I get the sense that it's you they're waiting for. It's you who is trying to see how you feel and muddle through those feelings in your mind. Love Shack, the B-52s. We've also got I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles. So yeah, so maybe they do want that exclusivity with you, that kind of relationship, and yeah, and Endless Love, Lionel Richie and Diana Ross, and also You Know You Like It, Aluna George. So yeah, I just feel that you guys, you have a connection, and I think it could be potentially you that is not feeling it in that way. Maybe you guys have had fun in the past, and that maybe they've said to you like, I really like you, I want to keep pursuing things with you, and you're like, no, I don't want it. But maybe you don't know how to say that, and maybe that's where you are at the moment. But yeah, I feel like you're just trying to figure out your thoughts, which is absolutely fine. But and I get this sense that they might be quite a cocky person. They might not be, but I get this sense that they're like, they might be trying to kind of talk you into it, and I think you are doing that kind of mind heart thing, like, actually no, I'm not going to let their thoughts and their way of thinking sway my decision here. I've got to listen to myself, and kind of, yeah, I do see this obstacle between you guys. But yeah, I think I feel like you guys have had a kind of situationship before this point, and it feels like the next natural progression, that next transformation would be a relationship, and I think you're just deciding whether you actually want that. And yeah, with this house of 8, you know, transforming, but also facing fears. Maybe it's you facing your fears and being like, actually, I don't have to say yes. I don't have to say yes to this if I don't want it. And that's really what I get. And you know, maybe it's transforming and being like, actually, no, I'm not going to do what I always do, and like, maybe with this Cancer energy, because that's really screaming out to me from under here, this Cancer energy of always putting others first potentially, and nurturing others, and maybe you're just learning to protect yourself and protect your own thoughts. But yeah, like I said, it's completely your decision. And if you actually feel like, no, they're the ones that are closed off, they're the ones that aren't talking to me, or that kind of thing, then I think they've just got some stuff that they're trying to work through. But I just think they don't know how to function when you're kind of not there, this kind of elegant person, and maybe that you've retreated to give them their space to work on their stuff, because you know that's how they need to grow. But yeah, I just get the sense that they're just hung up on you and hung up all of their thoughts on you. But yeah, part 4, I'm going to leave that there for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear if anything resonated for you down below in the comments. I'm sending all my love to you, and I really hope to see you guys soon. Bye!